Hello YouTubers, I was just making a quick video on this 2007 Honda Accord 4-cylinder, and basically I was having an idle low condition where once it was warmed up about up to temperature, it would drop to about 500 RPMs and it would shudder sometimes and almost stall. So I assumed it had something to do with the throttle body. I was looking for an idle air control valve, but I couldn't find one on this car. And I saw in previous Accords that it was located underneath the throttle body. I still have this hooked up to the coolant line, so it's kind of hard to tilt, but you can see under here, there's just a little hole that lets air out of this little box here. And I guess that's what they decided to change the idle air control valve on the older ones, with just this little vent, I guess. And there's 4 screws, and there's also a rubber gasket in here, so don't lose that. They do sell replacements, but I'm just going to reuse it because it appears to be fine. But anyway, there's these little screws that hold it in, and they're Phillips, so they have a little washer, but you can't get it off. So I should have brought new washers. I got replacement bolts because I stripped one of the Phillips getting them out, and I was like, yeah, these are terrible to get at because it's all the way underneath the throttle body. So I got these little 7mm head bolts. It's an M4 by 0.7 by 12mm is the size of those if you want to get replacements. And you could just get a flat washer to go with it. And so this is what it looks like. I mean, everything is electronically controlled with a throttle on this one, the throttle position sensor and whatnot. And basically, while I had it off here, I cleaned everything. And there's a paper gasket that goes on here. And let's see, I shot some cleaner down this vacuum line hole, and I basically used throttle body cleaner to clean out all the carbon in here. And from the other side, this side, you could push in on this and it opens it, and then if you hold it on the other side with your thumb, you can hold it back and really hold it completely horizontal and get in there good. And then I just used a brass brush with the throttle body cleaner, and that loosened most of it up, and then I just wiped the rest off with this rag, and that was about it. I soaked it pretty good. It was really dirty. This car only has 100,000 miles, but it's pretty getting old now. So I was kind of disappointed I didn't find an idle air control valve there. But anyway, there's a heads up if anybody else takes this off, what you'll find in place of it. And basically, these are studs into the manifold here that get this out of here. Just blocking it so debris doesn't get in there. So these are studded in here into the intake, and then the other one has 2 bolts, and they're 12mm, I believe, and then 2 nuts that go on the throttle body to take it off. So they get torqued to 16 foot-pounds. And it was really hard to find a replacement gasket for this. This is what it looks like. It goes on like that with the weird fin end towards this. But anyway, it's all discolored from the aluminum. So I got ahead and got a replacement while I had it off. And since it's paper, it really got stuck on the back here, on right where the bolts mount primarily. So I used the razor blade to get underneath it. It sticks up about here, so you could get in and pry behind it, and then the paper gets stuck around here because it kind of rips off on all 4s. So I basically wetted it with Goo Gone and water and just chiseled it with that razor blade to get the bulk of it off, and then I used the water, and there's this Scotch-Brite sponge to scrub the rest of it off, and I got it pretty good. The razor blade did scratch it a little bit, but I think after buffing it with the pad, it doesn't look too bad. So that's the best I could do with it. Water seemed to work the best for it since I guess it's paper. And then the only other thing, which is similar to all the other Accords, the 4 cylinders, this vent tube, and there's these clamps that you push together on both of these lines. And basically what I found the easiest way to pull this out is just take this off the back here, so you have to pinch this and kind of push it together to get it back on, and then you just pinch this and slide it back on. And then there's one more hose, it's back there, let's see if I get it in here, yeah, right here, that goes on this vent tube. And I actually, since it has these weird little clips that you spread open, I went ahead and just changed that out with a regular hose clamp, because I found that once you open those, they don't really go back on the same. So let's see, my hose clamp is hiding up in here. I just use one of the screw types. I believe this is a 5/8 inch one, or maybe, yeah, 5/8. If not, a 1/4 inch one would probably work. And here's the replacement gasket that I'm using. It's a Pro, and it's 61551. And it's weird because it only fits the 06 to 07 Honda Accord, which makes it really hard to pick one up because nobody has it in stock. But anyway, that was a short video. I'll see if this fixed my idle, just primarily cleaning the throttle body. I sprayed a little bit of cleaner up in that vent hole underneath, and it didn't really, nothing came out, but it may have loosened something. So I'll report back at the end of this video and say whether or not it fixed my idle condition. If not, well, at least you guys know what it looks like to take apart this throttle body. So have a good one.